Jason and the science experiment. The school bus had not even pulled away by the time Jason burst into the kitchen. "Mom, I've got to do a science experiment," he bellowed. "Whoa, slow down there. You'll take a tumble," his mom replied. She'd just got in from work and was fixing herself a milky coffee. Now, what's all the shouting about? But Jason wasn't listening. He'd already disappeared into another part of the house. Things were falling over, doors were being slammed, and various objects dropped on the floor. "Jason!" shouted his mom, just as her son reappeared, marching back into the kitchen, his arms stuffed with paper and crayons. He dumped them onto the kitchen table and pulled out a chair. "I'm doing science, Mom, a science experiment for school. I need to think of a good one." "Science, hey?" said Jason's mom. "What do you have in mind? A sundial? How about growing something from a seed?" Jason picked up a large blue crayon. "Ha! My experiment is going to be better than that, Mom. I'm going to build a robot." He began scribbling his design on the paper. "A robot?" said his mom in surprise. "But honey, that's going to be very, very difficult. Robots are full of wires and gears and computer chips. I don't think we have any of those things." "Don't worry, Mom, I've got a plan. I'll need boxes, string, and cardboard tubes, and lots of tape." Jason was busy cutting and sticking at the kitchen table right up until dinner. They needed to make some space to eat, so Jason's mom helped to carefully lift the cardboard robot onto one of the chairs. As Jason and his mom tucked into their spaghetti, it looked for all the world as if the robot had joined them for the meal. The robot's head was made from a plain-looking delivery box. On it, Jason had drawn 2 large eyes and a smiley mouth with purple crayon. Its body was a cereal box with a big red circular lid taped to the center. "He looks nice," said Jason's mom. "Yeah, he's looking awesome," agreed Jason. "I just have one more place to add, then he'll be ready." "Oh," said Jason's mom, "what's that?" "This," said Jason, snatching up a piece of paper beside him, "an electronic brain." He'd drawn what looked like a human brain with little sparks and lightning bolts surrounding it. Underneath, he'd written, "Electronic Brian." "Oh, honey, you've spelled brain wrong. That says Electronic Brian." "Perfect," said Jason as he hopped down from his chair. "That can be his name, Electronic Brian." He reached up and opened one of the box flaps on top of the head, slipping the drawing inside. "Ta-da! Are you finished?" asked his mom. "Oh, yeah! Now all I have to do is press this big red button on his chest, and he'll spring into life." And that's exactly what he did. Except the robot did not spring into life. It just sat there, not moving. Jason looked very disappointed. "Honey, you've done a really good job. But he's just made out of cardboard. Real robots are much more complicated." "Batteries!" shouted Jason suddenly. "I forgot the batteries!" He ran to a kitchen drawer and yanked it open. After a quick rummage, he pulled out 2 AA batteries and held them up high. "Aha!" slamming the drawer shut as he raced back to the robot and pushed them into the flap of the head. "Now he should work." The big red button was pressed once more, and to Jason's mom's great surprise, the robot came to life. The center of his crayon eyes and smiling mouth turned a pale yellow, and its head turned to look around the kitchen. "It works!" shouted Jason, jumping for joy. Jason's mom just sat there, the last of her spaghetti dangling on a fork. Halfway to her open mouth, she could not believe what she was seeing. "Hello, Jason," said the robot. "I am Electronic Brian. How can I help you?" Ha ha! Come on, Electronic Brian. If you like, you could help me load the dishwasher. I would be happy to, replied the robot. Despite only having hands made from cardboard tubes and plastic forks, Electronic Brian proved to be really good at carrying plates and glasses. The dishwasher was loaded in no time. Isn't he great, Mom? Smiled Jason. He's incredible, said Jason's mom. The next morning, Jason was up really early. He was so excited to be taking his science project into school. Electronic Brian helped him make his lunch and even poured Jason's mom some cereal. Then it was time to go and catch the bus. Bye, Mom. See you later. Okay, bye both of you. She watched them leave, still not quite believing what she saw. The bus driver was equally amazed. Isn't that a little kid dressed up? He asked. No, said Jason, just a robot. The children on the bus all stared in amazement. Their science projects didn't look anywhere near as good as a walking, talking robot. At the school, all the teachers gathered at the classroom doorway to catch a glimpse of Electronic Brian. There was a spare desk next to Jason's, so Electronic Brian decided it would be best to sit there. When it was Jason's turn to present his science experiment, even the school principal and the janitor came to watch. Everyone was hugely impressed. Throughout the day, Electronic Brian enjoyed watching the other children present their science experiments and even joined in asking questions. It was as if he'd always been a part of Jason's class. Just before it was time to catch the school bus home, Jason's mother came over to talk to him. Now that we've finished our science experiments, I was wondering what you had planned for Electronic Brian, she asked. Well, I'm not really sure. I don't suppose it's really up to me. We should ask Electronic Brian. The robot was still sat at the spare desk as he turned his cardboard head to look at them. I think, he said thoughtfully, I think I'd like to go to school here. You're all very nice, and there's so much to learn. And do you know what? That's exactly what he did. And from that day on, Electronic Brian was in the classroom with all the kids, learning and helping them with their work. He was officially the school robot. So that you don't miss a single episode, just click that subscribe button.